Welcome back. When severe weather threatens, there are tools that we use to keep you safe. Two of these are emergency watch and warning systems. A tornado watch means people in that area need to be on alert for storms that could produce tornadoes. That's because the conditions are favorable for them to form. If a tornado watch is in effect, then you need to be ready to act. If a tornado warning is issued, seek shelter immediately. A tornado warning means that a tornado has either been seen by storm spotters or is indicated on radar. When a warning is issued, get your family together and get to your safe place, like a storm shelter or a basement. Stay there until the danger is past. The best chance for protecting you and your family from a tornado is getting to the safest place in your home. That usually means putting as many walls between you and the tornado as possible. Meteorologist Nick Loya has more on tornado safety.
During severe weather season, having a family plan for when severe weather strikes will help keep you and your family calm.
People often think that the biggest threat during a tornado is the wind, but it's also what's being carried by that wind.
The best place to be is underground, in a basement or in a storm cellar. And if you're at home and you can't get to an underground shelter, the next best place to be, the bottom floor away from exterior walls. That could mean getting into a bathroom or even getting into a closet.
If you're at work or out and about, find the innermost location of a building. In an apartment complex, remember that wind speeds increase with height, so it's best to get to the lowest level when a tornado warning is issued. There are two places you don't want to be during a tornado warning. The first is a mobile home. Mobile homes are never safe places to be during a tornado warning because they don't offer protection between you and the storm. Instead, find a sturdy building or a storm cellar and stay there until the warning expires.
Cars are also not safe to use during a tornado warning. You should make your way to a shelter or a sturdy building. And remember that bridges and overpasses are neither of those things.
Overpasses and bridges might keep the rain off your head, but it won't protect you from what the tornado throws around. And remember, wind speeds also increase under the road too, making it more difficult to hold on. When you find your safe place, hunker down and get underneath blankets and pillows. This will help protect you from debris if a tornado is to strike, but also use your hands to cover your head and neck. We always recommend you leave the radio or the TV on. Tune to the weather report so you know when it's safe to come out. Keep in mind that if multiple storms are moving your way, you may have to stay there for an extended amount of time.
Your best chance of survival is being inside when a tornado strikes, but that might not always be possible. If you're caught outdoors, get to the nearest drainage ditch and stay low. And remember, only do this if there is no other option. As Nick mentioned, you should talk about your severe weather plan with your family. And part of getting ready is putting your emergency kit together. It should include blankets, a radio, a flashlight and fresh batteries, bottled water, and a few items of non-perishable food. In the event that you're trapped in your shelter, having a charged cell phone with you will come in handy. You should plan for the worst so that you will be ready when a storm hits. There are other severe weather threats that many people don't think about, like straight-line winds. They form when a mature thunderstorm's updraft reaches its strongest state and pulls in warm air that's high in moisture. At that point, the storm starts to produce rain and colder air. But at a certain point, the storm gets too heavy to support the updraft, and the mass of rain and cold air comes down all at once. Straight-line winds can hit the ground with enough force to create gusts of up to 50 or 60 miles per hour. If the storm is strong enough, the winds can reach over 130 miles per hour, making them the strength of an EF2 tornado. In fact, the damage can often look the same because from the ground, it's hard to tell the difference between a tornado and straight-line winds. Just to be on the safe side, before a storm arrives, tie down or put away anything in your yard that can be blown around and potentially become a projectile. But remember, as the storm gets closer, go inside your house or a sturdy structure and stay away from windows and outside walls. It takes a certain set of circumstances to produce a tornado during a storm, but lightning is produced with every thunderstorm and it strikes about 40 times a second around the globe. Lightning is an electrical discharge between a cloud and the ground or between clouds. It's created by the movement and collision of water droplets and ice up and down in the storm. That movement creates positive and negative charges within the clouds. And once too much electrical energy builds up, lightning strikes. As you know, the bolt tends to hit taller objects first, like buildings, tall trees, or light posts. And the thunder you hear is caused by the rapid expansion and compression of the air around the discharge of electricity. On average, lightning kills more men than women, and most of the deaths due to lightning happen during the summer when more people are outdoors. But you can stay safe in a lightning storm. Thunder is an important indicator that one is on the way. So if you hear it, make sure you head inside a sturdy structure that is not exposed to the outside. If you're indoors, limit the amount of time you spend on a corded telephone or electronics, because if lightning strikes your home, the energy can come through the wires. If you're in a car during a storm, roll up the windows and avoid touching anything metal. And remember, stay inside until 30 minutes after the last clap of thunder. People take for granted that the dry, dusty plains can't have flash flooding, but it happens more than you'd think. Sometimes we get slow-moving thunderstorms that can attribute to flash flooding in the Texas Panhandle. That slow rain doesn't give the ground enough time to soak up the moisture. The main danger during flash floods comes from losing control of your vehicle while trying to drive through rainwater. It only takes 2 feet of running water to wash a car completely off the roadway.
A quick 1 to 2 inches of rain is not out of the question with these big-time thunderstorms. Obviously, our roads here cannot handle that kind of drainage, so if you're traveling, especially at night, you need to be careful, especially when you can't tell the depth.
Experts say never try to drive through flooded areas. They say to find a different route to get to your destination. They also suggest staying away from underpasses when rain has been falling steadily, because even highway underpasses can fill up with water and trap vehicles. The city of Amarillo is taking steps to make sure those underpasses stay safe for drivers. Last year, they installed floodgates at the BNSF underpasses near 10th and Grant and 3rd and Grant. The underpasses were chosen because, in the past, people have died trying to drive through high water. City officials try to close them off with normal barriers, but they say they found drivers would just go around them. Now, anytime there's a heavy rainstorm, the city will bring down the gates, essentially shutting down access to the underpass on each side of both locations. When there isn't enough water, there's still another danger in our area: wildfires. 3 things can contribute to a bad wildfire season: dead vegetation from lack of rain, unseasonably warm temperatures, and very dry air and strong surface winds. These kinds of situations are common during drought years, and it doesn't take much to start a wildfire. Low-hanging chains on a truck or trailer, sparks from a blown tire, or even lightning from a dry thunderstorm can start a blaze. The strong winds will push the flames on, making containment very difficult for firefighters. But there are some things you can do to protect yourself from wildfires. Clear out the dead brush around your house. Never park your vehicle on dead grass, because even a hot catalytic converter can spark a blaze. And know what you need to take with you if you have to evacuate. If you're building a campfire, keep it small and never leave it unattended. Also, always know when burn bans are in effect. And if a red flag warning is issued, avoid outdoor burning of any kind. Every severe weather season, we send out our own team of storm chasers. When we return, we'll talk to one individual who spends his vacation hunting supercell thunderstorms.